Hey y'all, I'm going to do a flip through today and show you my 11th graders history, well, geography. We're doing world geography this year, and this is Notgrass history. I'm going to flip the camera around in a second and let you see bird's eye view. I actually already did most of this video and then realized that my phone had stopped recording, so I'm doing it again. So Notgrass history, we have used this for several years. We like this curriculum. It's probably the most expensive other than like labs with some of the science stuff I've done with my high schooler. Most expensive curriculum, but it is worth it. It is a very good curriculum. You can get more than one subject or one credit out of this. My 11th grader is getting her English and her Bible credit with this year. So it's well worth it. This was about $145 for the whole set, and I'll show you all the books here in just a second. It did not include the readers that you also need with this book, but we don't buy those because I get them from the library and we just get them as we need them if we don't already own them. And if you are not familiar with me, we are a homeschool family of 5. We've got 3 kids that are all homeschooling now. My 4-year-old is doing preschool. So we have an 11th grader, a 6th grader, and a preschooler. And this is what my 11th grader is using right now. So I'm going to flip the camera around. If I don't cover something in this video, just leave a comment and ask all the questions you want, and I'll be happy to answer those. Hopefully I can get it all covered. I'm going to try to go through it quick, but there's a lot of books here. So let me get this turned around here, and I'll try to go through it really quick. All right, so here are the main 2 reader books that you get. These are the heavy-duty hardback books. You've got part 1 and part 2, and then you have the Gazetter, and you have the student review book. You have the quiz and exam book, and you have the guide for parents and answer key. Now, we try to use curriculum that my kids can use on their own, student-led or whatever you want to call it, open and go. And we also have notebooks. They will definitely need extra notebooks for this to answer questions in and to do like their Bible work and things. But this curriculum is laid out where your student can just open it, read the instructions, and go with it. So this is world geography. They do not have to carry both of these around with them all the time or use them at the same time. This covers first half of the year. This covers the second half. There's 150 lessons. Let me show you what this looks like. If you're not familiar with Notgrass, there are reader books that you have to go along with this. These are the books that they will need. And you can buy this from their website. You can buy this as a whole package with all these books plus the readers, or you can get just like the hardback books, or you can get just the ones that will need to be redone. Like if they write in this book and you need to use this curriculum again for another student, which helps absorb the cost. We've already done that. So you can order, you can order all together, or you can order just the pieces you need. So 150 lessons in here. And Notgrass is, well, let me go through here kind of slowly, let you look at that if you want to, what they're going to cover. Notgrass is laid out where you read the lesson and then it gives you the assignments for the day. This is broken into units. This one has 15 units. That one, number 2, has 15 units. I think I'm wording that correctly. Units and lessons. So I believe there's 15 units there, 15 units there. And then each unit has a lesson. Has 5 lessons. All right, this is just a little like how to do the curriculum. Read the lesson for the day, complete the Gazetter. If you're doing the student review book, and then work on your Bible memorization. It does tell you at the beginning of the units what memory verse they're supposed to be working on. This is a breakdown of how to use all the different books. This is talking about their writing assignment. This course does have them doing a big writing assignment for the last half of the year, and it explains that in the second book. So this is all about the writing. This is the plan for when they do their big essay, and it says it's a 20-day plan. I've actually let my daughter double that, so she's got 40 days to do her. So I'm giving her 2 days to do each of these. So she's breaking it up and stretching it out to 2 days just because I felt like she needed it. This is I think I showed you this, the books that they're going to be reading. So I like to just jump in this and show you what a lesson's going to look like. So this has got unit 1 and then lessons 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 here. They're broken up like that. So if you always do a 5-day week, then you're going to get 1 unit done per week. But we don't always do that. At the beginning of the unit, it's going to give you a breakdown of what they're going to need to do for that unit. Memory verse is there. It's 2 verses, Psalm 98, 7 through 9. Books used, the Bible, Exploring World Geography Gazetter, which is this book here, and then Know Why You Believe, and that was the first reader. It says here that they have until the end of Unit 2. So you got to break that down into 10 lessons for them to get that done. So 2 weeks, 10 lessons. There's always a project for each unit, and it's always something similar to what it gives here. This is a 250 to 300 word essay, and it gives you 2 different options of an essay for there. And then this one is more of like a make something type project, and then this is more of a do something type project. This one is making a scrapbook, and it's given the things that you're supposed to find and do for that scrapbook. And then this one says write and deliver a 5-minute newscast describing some changes in geography. So you know your student best. You know what they should do. So help them pick a project that they're going to work on, and that's going to be the project for this unit. So they get that at the beginning of the unit. Memory verse they'll need to work on. If they're doing this for a Bible credit, they'll need to work on that every day. At the beginning of the lesson, it doesn't tell you to start working to memorize your Bible verse, so they just need to know that they got to do that every day. So here's lesson 1, the reading for lesson 1. And then you get to the end of it, and it's got the assignments. Worldview, that's their Bible assignments. It says copy this question. So it's a question and an answer, and that's usually what it is for the worldview. I was going to just flip through to a future one and see what it looks like. Yep, copy this question and answer for that worldview. This one is a little bit different. I was going to show you that real quick. Geography, it says complete the map activity for Unit 4 in the student review book. So some of these, it's not exactly the same every single assignment. Some of them don't have the geography listed, I think. Let me go back and look at another one. See, like this one says Gazetter, so they'll be doing something in this Gazetter book. But it lists it after each lesson what they're supposed to be doing. So back to lesson 1, worldview, that was the Bible project. Choose one of the projects. Choose your project for this unit and start working on it. Plan to finish it by the end of this unit. So you've got 5 lessons to finish that project. Literature, it tells you what to read, and then it gives you a breakdown of how many chapters you should read of that book to get it done by the end of Unit 2. Student review, and that is where you use these books. And you go in here and find lesson 1 and answer the questions for lesson 1. They will need a separate notebook to answer these questions because it doesn't leave them room in here to write it down in this book, which also is good that if they don't write in this book and you want to use this for another kid, you won't have to buy it again. So they'll come in here, find their lesson. It's broken down by unit and lesson, and this is for the whole book, or both books combined. It goes all the way to lesson 150. And then the answer key is here for that, whether you're going to check it or you're going to let them check their own work. And that's how each one is laid out. You get all the way to the back. I mean, I think it just stops. So let's see what's in the back of this book. I like to look at the back of the book sometimes. It's sources, and that's it. Yeah. So then you would move on to book 2. And it is laid out the exact same way. There's a breakdown of what they're going to be covering in those units. And then it starts in Unit 16, Lessons 76 through 80. Tells them what they're going to be doing. I'm trying to see where they started on the big project. I think it's when they started this book. I'm not 100%. I'd have to go back and look. I know she's already started on it, and she's already in book 2. And I am letting her skip the projects, the writing projects. I'd been making her do the writing projects at the beginning of each unit, so I'm letting her skip that in place of the big writing, or the big research paper that she's doing. And once she finishes that, because I'm doing the 40 days, once she finishes that, then she'll go back to doing the writing projects, the essays. She is very much a reader and writer, so we have chosen for the projects to let her do the writing, the small essays. And then I'll go look at the back of this one, and I think it's the same. Yep, it goes to sources as soon as it's done with that project. All right, let's do a little flip through of some of these other books. This is the Gazetter. And it gives the instructions in the assignments. It's not every assignment every day, but it does give the instructions of what to come through here and read. And this highlights different countries. And then I think they answer some questions on these countries, but it's got a lot of information in here. And then this is more reading. They're doing, I believe they're going to be reading some poetry and things like that. And it's like excerpts from different books. And then you have the quiz and exam book. It's got a quiz for each unit. And then it's got, I believe it's quarterly. Yep. 4th geography exam, unit 16 through 20. So every 4 units, I guess it does one. 4th English exam. Unit 21 exam. And it goes in order, so they'll just go, you know, from the book from beginning to end. They don't have to skip around. Sometimes they do like different sections, but this one's just looks like it's just straightforward from beginning to end. Guide for parents and answer key. This gives a breakdown of the books. So like if there is maybe some sensitive material in these books that you don't want them to read, it kind of gives you a breakdown and lets you know if there's anything that might be something that you wouldn't want your kid to read. I don't know, I guess. I think I've looked over all of them. I'm okay with them, but again, it gives you that breakdown so that you're aware of what they're reading if you haven't read those books yourself. And this is the answers through all the way through the end. Let's see what's at the end here. That's it. It just ends with the answers. And then you got the student review book. This is the daily questions. And then I'm pretty sure in here somewhere it gives you the breakdown of how to, a way of scoring this so that you can get a grade. Quarterly grade, daily grade, however you want to do that. It does give a breakdown, but they'll be answering questions in this, and they'll be answering questions in this, doing, you know, the exam type deal. So you can choose how you want to accumulate those points and get a grade point average, or you can follow their instructions. I'm pretty sure it was in one of these books, but I didn't see it when I was flipping through it, so I'm not sure. All right, well, that was it. I hope that was a helpful flip through for you, and I will see you in the next video.